Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating a 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to this contradiction.
February existing home sales down 7.1%.
American consumers, they have more cash on hand.
What a contradiction. Matter of fact, all the information you get from all the different financial programs, it's all contradiction, but here at Phil's Gang, I will tell you the truth. Join my gang, philsgang.com. You will enjoy it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. It's 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. Boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market on 5/29. That's May 29th. I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right. And the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Let's take a look at the markets today. The financials are down a bit. Remember, we've had a great month in financials.
A great month in financials? No, we didn't. We didn't have a great month in financials. Matter of fact, out of the 10 sectors, financials, the drop in price has to be the worst sector, financials. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Hope you had a great Easter. I did. And now we got to get back to work. God, I got so much to talk about today. There was a shooting on Capitol Hill. It's on a lockdown. Don't quite know what's going on. I see it going across my screen, but somebody got shot, I believe, on Capitol Hill. One of the guards, one of the security officers at Capitol Hill. So I'm sure you'll be hearing it all day long. The more news we get, the more I pick up. I'll let you know, and I know more about it. I'm watching it right now. It comes across the screen. Social Security. First of all, I'm getting so tired of Bernie Sanders and these politicians. They're spending too much time on minimum wage.
All of our workers from coast to coast need at least $15 an hour.
$15 an hour, he says. So, I get it. So at $8 an hour, he wants to move it up to 15. So that means, you get 15 an hour instead of 8. But the value for the owner, the value for the store owner doesn't go up. So he's got to pay you $15. Are you kidding? Instead of 8 or 10? Where's his value? He doesn't get any more value. This is crazy what these people are doing. It's nuts. Remember when Obama said this?
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
Peddling fiction. Remember he said that? He should know. He is the master of fiction.
If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor.
See? Listen to this.
We have put in place the toughest ethics laws and toughest transparency rules of any administration in history.
This is the guy that knows about fiction. Then Yellen said, right after the economy, she said, the economy's doing so well. The economy's doing so well, she says. We need 4 rate hikes. Remember for a whole year in 2015, right before she raised rates in December, for the whole year of December, she kept saying, boy, the economy is really doing good. Really doing. Jobs are terrific. Things are really terrific. We have to raise rates. For almost a year, she said that every day. Every day. But she didn't raise rates. Finally, at the end of December, she raises rates. And then she came out and said, we need 4 rate hikes. Not just this quarter point. We need 4 more. Things are so good. She says, rate hikes are good for the economy. And rate hikes are good because we get some sanity back. This is what she said in raising rates. What is she, nuts? Check this out. The quarter-point rate hike in December caused the worst January stock market drop in decades, a negative 14%. We dropped a negative 14%. Now Yellen's saying she's cutting back the 4 rate hikes to just 2, meaning that rate hikes, and the only way you can interpret it, are not good for the economy. Am I right? She really is confusing the market. That's why the market has stalled after this 14% rally. Now think about this. In January, we had that 14% plunge right after the rate hike in December of 2015, that quarter point. Then the S&P, as it's going down 14%, stopped and rallied back up 13%, almost 14%, right off the February lows, February 11th. Went up 13%. Now, I wish I could say the rally was powered by improving economic fundamentals, like earnings growth. I can't, because earnings are deteriorating. The first quarter earnings declined by minus 8.3%, making it the 4th consecutive quarter year-over-year decline in earnings since 2008. Revenues growth also declined minus 0.8%, making it the 5th consecutive quarter of year-over-year declines for revenue since 2008. What are you, nuts? We then had a decline in manufacturing, durable goods. In fact, the durable good numbers is so bad, durable goods, this is our 13th month in a row we had durable goods decline. We had a decline in business investment, including machinery, computers, communication equipment, all down. Even sales of aircraft plunged 27%, and so did existing home sales by 7%. Financial sector, this is the one I love, the most important of all 10 sectors that we follow, had the largest decrease in price of all 10, by minus 8.4%. But listen to what Pisani said instead.
Let's take a look at the markets today. Financials are down a bit. Remember, we've had a great month in financials.
Great month in financials? How can that be? The financial sector is the worst of all 10, the largest decrease in price by 8.4%. See, that's the problem. All these jibber jabbers. Our first quarter GDP, economic growth, came in at minus 1.4%. So how can we have a 13% stock market rally off the February 11th lows, which was unsupported by economic fundamentals, which was even worse, the fundamentals, even worse than going back to the January drop. So in other words, we had worse fundamentals. We had the drop of 14% in January, and then we went up 13% February, March. But guess what? The economic fundamentals were worse on the way up 13% than when they were going down 14%. So how can you have a 13, 14% rally on the way back up when the economic numbers came in worse than when we dropped in January? So let's put it this way. The January drop, the biggest drop in history in January, of all the Januaries, the biggest drop ever in decades, we should say. And those numbers were pretty good. It's unbelievable what's going on, isn't it? See, like Bob Pisani, like CNBC, they come out and they just talk the market up. So you say, how can this happen? How can you have a stock market rally when we have, it's first of all, it's unsupported by economic fundamentals, and the fundamentals are absolutely worse now in a 13% rally than they were on the rally dropping. How? It's easy. The Federal Reserve, they financially rig it. They engineer the rally. The first thing, our 151 wealthiest owners of the Federal Reserve, who also control the country's major media companies, which control 85% of what we hear, what we see. They do. So they tell CNBC, like Bob Pisani, to go out there, and in spite that we had the worst the worst numbers in the financials, the price dropped by 8.4%. Tell people it's great. Isn't that amazing? Then you have this.
I think it was a great report for the market, at least for the time being.
Then you have this.
I think probably most importantly for stock prices is that the worst of the corporate earnings pretty much appear to be behind.
Unbelievable. What a bunch of jibber jabbers. Hey, we'll be right back. It's 15 past the hour, and we got an important message about a new Social Security law that's coming out October 2015 when it passed.
For more information on the show, go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With a false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With a false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short Ford when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us. Because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber-jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's so much bad news out there. Let me give you some good news. The good news is you can retire when you're 65 years of age. You can live the same lifestyle you've come accustomed to, but you're going to have to make a change. And what's that change? To get rid of your 401k. It's a scam. It doesn't work. We've never seen more people pulling their money out of 401ks than right now. $40 billion just in this last few quarters because they know it doesn't work. So they're taking their money and stuffing it in the mattress. That's not what to do. Look, it's not about the money you put away. It's about how you invest that money. And clearly 401ks don't work. But it does work here at Phil's Gang. philsgang.com, where we just got a return of over 35% in copper.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Evidently, I'll give you a little information on what we're picking up here in bits and pieces, but a police officer who works on Capitol Hill guarding the building, inside the building, took out his pistol and shot somebody. Didn't do much damage to him. He seems to be fine. They're trying to find out why he thought this person who he shot, why he thought it was a threat. So that's all that we really know at this point. So this now will be on the news for the next 17 days. Next 17 days, they'll have psychiatrists come on, talk about if you need help because of this is really bothering you. I mean, you ever see such stuff they talk about? I mean, I understand this. This is important, and I understand we should talk about tonight on the news, and that's it. Let's move on. Let's move on to what's important. Nobody got hurt. That's fine. There's got to be a reason he shot the guy. He must have looked bad or something. They'll sort it out. But isn't it time we sort out our problems? We got people running for president. All they talk about is minimum wage. Are you crazy? You're going to take minimum wage? I don't care if it goes from $8 to $10 or $10 to $15. Where's the value for the employer? That makes no sense. It's not minimum wage is the problem. It's creating good jobs to begin with is the problem. And by the way, my very good friend Walter Scher, whose book is a beautiful book, Walter's Way, he called me yesterday. He wanted me to remind me that this very important Social Security law was passed in October 2015, called H.R. 1314, known as the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015. It's going to go into effect May 1st, and it could affect some 22 million people. Now, I'll go over that in a little bit and explain what's going on. You don't have to panic, okay? You don't have to panic, but I'll go over it with you. And but Walter wanted to talk about that yesterday, and also what I found out about his book yesterday when I was visiting Walter Easter Sunday. What a great man! Do you know this book, Walter's Way? I mean, is a award-winning book. Now, everybody knows Axiom Business Book Award. Now, this book, I didn't know, but was a recipient of the prestigious Axiom Business Award. Now, that is the largest, most respected, critical guidepost for business books in the publishing world. And this book got the top award. Walter got the top award publishing this book, writing this book. Unbelievable. This is great. And also, by the way, the Small Business Forum, they said this was a great read, a must-have, a great read. You got to get this book, Small Business Forum. That's what they said about the book. And Walter's Way was also selected, his book, to Trust Across America, TAA, 2016 Top Thought Leaders. That's a real honor. Trust Across America, and this book was selected by Trust Across America. Midwest Book Review said of Walter's Way, priceless and inspiring. I can tell you that. And it was also profiled in Scene magazine. You got to get this book. What an entrepreneur he is. You probably got to get this book. And again, all the proceeds go to I'll go to charity. Goes to Vera and Walter Share Family Foundation, and it goes to St. Jude. So check it out. Go to my website, philsgang.com, or get it directly. Go to waltersway.org. Award-winning, terrific book, terrific person. All right, let's get back on to, I'll let this breaking news that's going to be on for the next 16 weeks, okay, let everybody else handle that. I want to talk about making money. We got to make money. And here's what gets me. Listen to this.
I think that the U.S. economy is doing quite well. Employment growth has been really strong. Unemployment keeps coming down. Inflation has stabilized and starting to move back up towards our 2% goal.
What a bunch of nonsense. I just gave you the numbers. I just gave them to you. How could someone say that? Just get out there and lie. Oh, that's what they do. Listen.
Is what you're saying that the bigger market risk going forward here might not be that our economy is slowing, but that our economy is doing so well that you've got to put interest rate hikes back on the table?
Interest rates economy's doing well. You got to put interest rates back on the table. Are you kidding me? When we had our earnings are deteriorating. So the first quarter earnings declined by 8.3%, making it the fourth consecutive quarter. Then our revenues growth declined, making it the fifth consecutive quarter. Then we had decline in manufacturing and durable goods for 13 months in a row, durable goods. A decline in business investment, and on and on and on. Aircraft plunges on and on. And these people have the nerve to come out and say this kind of stuff?
And I think probably most importantly for stock prices is that the worst of the corporate earnings pretty much appear to be behind us now.
How's bad corporate earnings going to be behind us? How is that? But here's the thing you need to know. This is all good news because now they have totally gone away from earnings. Nobody cares about earnings anymore. They don't care. Our owners who control the central bank, the Federal Reserve, did on February 11th, 2016, what they did off the lows in March 18, 2009. You know what it's called? They called for renewed accommodation. That's what ought to be called for. Bernanke on March 18th, 2009 called for renewed accommodation, and then she called for renewed accommodation on February 11th. 2016. You know what that means? Renewed accommodation. Another name for massive money printing. To keep the old money machine going. To keep printing and printing and printing. Yeah, that's all that means. A fancy name for that. The purpose is they front-loaded the 200% stock market rally in 2009. Now they're doing the same thing, and they don't need earnings. Isn't that wonderful? That's why you join my gang. We'll be right back after this break. Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Aren't you tired of all the nonsense you hear from these financial shows like this?
Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No. Bear Stearns is fine.
And then they went bankrupt. This is what I'm talking about. This is crazy. Your 401k, they take half of all the money you put away. Look, it's not about the money you're saving. It's about where you invest it and not in a 401k. Join my gang. Start using charts. I'll teach you how to use a chart so that you can maximize your returns on the money you do have. And the earlier you get started, the better. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, every day we hear from Wall Street, you turn on the TV, and they're telling us how the economy's great, everything's great, and these are the same people that run the 401ks who, with a 2% fee, take more than half of your money and put it in their pocket. You will never retire comfortably in a 401k. But try to convince 90 million people, it's almost impossible. People just don't listen. They get comfortable and stay with these 401ks. They don't work. You're not going to be able to retire. It's simple. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Join the gang, try it for a month, and we're going to show you how to use a chart. And that is going to put you in such a comfort zone of retirement.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, every day we hear from Wall Street, you turn on the TV, and they're telling us how the economy's great, everything's great. And these are the same people that run the 401ks who, with a 2% fee, take more than half of your money and put it in their pocket. You will never retire comfortably in a 401k. But try to convince 90 million people, it's almost impossible. People just don't listen. They get comfortable and stay with these 401ks. They don't work. You're not going to be able to retire. It's simple. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Join the gang, try it for a month, and we're going to show you how to use a chart. And that is going to put you in such a comfort zone of retirement.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Time is the one thing that we want more of as a St. Jude parent. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, we come in the morning, we have what we call coffee talk, but we just don't sit around and throw the bull, or joke or laugh. Our coffee talk is serious. Every morning before you start out investing, we have an intense discussion on what is going on and where we should be investing, because it's all about not the money, but where you're putting that money. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and enjoy the best coffee in town.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay. Look, let's talk about you, Social Security. Social Security and 401k. Social Security was never designed to take the place of what you were making when you were working. Now, when you retire, you want to live the same lifestyle that you came accustomed to when you were, let's say, making $50,000 to $60,000 a year. And that's fair. And you want, after working years and years, making $50,000, $60,000, have put enough aside where after paying your bills, you put enough money aside and invest it so that you live that same lifestyle as if you were making $50,000 a year. Now, Social Security was designed to only subsidize that retirement. So Social Security covers about 28, maybe 30% of what you were making. So again, you want to live the same lifestyle you're accustomed to of making $50,000, $60,000 when you retire, and you're going to live to 80. You're going to need about $1 million to do that. That's right, $1 million to do that. Now, the problem is most people entering retirement have only about $60,000, not the $1 million they need if they're making $50,000 to $60,000 a year, and they're going to go into retirement and they want to live the same lifestyle. They got $50,000, $60,000, not $1 million. And you know the culprit is the 401k, because the 401k only takes up to about 28%. So let's take Social Security and the 401k. You put them together, you have about 52% of what you made. You can't retire with covering just 52% of the $50,000 to $60,000 you were making. You're not going to live comfortably. You're going to have to notch your way back down. Are you downsize? You're going to have to downsize to a cardboard box on the street. That's terrible. So who's the culprit? It's the 401k. That's the culprit. Social Security is never intended for a retirement fund. It's a safety net, but not, hey, here's a retirement fund. You can live just the same way you live when you're making 50, 60 grand. 401k, though, was sold to you that you could. If you invest in 401k, if you get a 401k, you will live the same lifestyle that you have right now, making 50 to 60,000. It was a fraud. Social Security was never intended for retirement. It was to subsidize retirement. And the 401k that was intended to provide you enough money so you can retire is a failed experiment. Totally failed. Think about it. 401k covers even less of what you made while working. 22%. That's less than the 28 to 30% from Social Security. It's a failed system. You know why? Because of hidden fees of 2%, which takes 56% of the savings you put aside. That's half, and it goes into the pocket of the gangsters. Now, if you tell somebody this 2%, they don't believe it. They believe the fake models that they get presented. You have these advisors and these planners and the human resource people with those fancy brochures give you these models that show you, oh, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. At 25 years of age, they show you, you're going to get a 7% annually, an annual return of 7%. Oh, really? I like to see that. But let's just use their fake model. You're 25. They're going to show you're going to get a 7% year, 7% return on your money. And let's say you put aside $25,000. So you got your 25 grand aside. You're going to make 7% a year. So they're saying you need to put aside just $6,129 a year and then invest it. Out of your $60,000, $50,000, you got to put $6,129 away. No, it's not true. You better bump it up to $10,270. That's right, because you only get a return in a 401k 3% most of the time, once in a while 4%, but I'm going to use 4%. So using 4%, you're going to have to take out of your pay annually $10,270 from your 50 or 60,000, and then you got to invest it wisely. It's not so much how much money you are investing, not the money, it's how well you're investing it. That's where the 401k falls apart. If you're 35 years of age and it's 7%, they say, then you got to come up with $12,285 every year. You got to put it away, take it out of your pay. That's after tax. Put it away and invest it wisely. But you know what it is? Let's take 4%. You need $17,554. Yeah, if you're 35, you're going to need to take $17,554 out of your $50,000 to $60,000 a year. And that's if you get a 4% return from your 401k. Now here's the tough one. The older you get. At 45 years old, that's pretty late to start. That's pretty late to start. At 7%, you're going to need to take $26,745 out of your, say, $55,000. But at 4% return, you're going to really have to put away $33,213, about half of what you make, so that you can get your $1 million and retire comfortably. When you get above that, hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I always hear from people, Phil, I just love to join the gang. I listen to you on the radio show. I'd love to. I just don't have time. Oh, really? You better make time. Because the average person makes between $55,000 and $65,000 a year. You're going to need $1 million to live that same lifestyle you become accustomed to. You're not going to live it with a 401k, I can tell you that. Think about this. At 25 years of age, you need to put aside $6,000 a year. At 45, $26,000. At 55, are you kidding me? You might as well go in a garage, stick a hose in your exhaust pipe, and just let it go. You won't have enough time. Join my gang. Okay? Don't do that, but you get my point. And I was using the 7%. You got to start now. No, don't go get the hose. Don't go to your garage. We're only having some fun with you. Look, it's not just about how much money you save for your retirement. It's how you invest it. There's the problem. And who invests the money for your 401k? Who's the guy? He's a bum. He's a bum. The worst. When you had a pension fund, that's when things were good. You had a guaranteed retirement. You had a guaranteed $1 million. Because, see, the pension fund, that was a beautiful thing. There was an agreement between you and your employer. Yes, it was very expensive for your employer. But it was more expensive if he didn't give you the pension. Because giving someone a pension, they didn't have to worry about retirement. They really produced, and they were loyal to the company. So it worked out for the owner of the company. But guess what? That all changed when we started to do what? The global trading, NAFTA, all that stuff. Smoke industry left. What took the place of the smoke industry? Financial services. And Wall Street, which was a small cottage industry, it now became a mega giant with financial services. And who do they put in charge of your 401k? Losers. Who they get paid on how much money is in your account. Because if they made them get paid on your 401k on what they produce, the profits, they'd starve to death. That's unbelievable. We'll be right back. Join my gang right now. Let me help you. I'm reaching out to help you. Then you, please reach out and help St. Jude. Please.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you, thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating the 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to join the gang. Now remember what's wonderful. This market is going to continue to be financially engineered. Every time the economy gets worse and worse, look what happened. We had the worst economic numbers. The economic numbers when the market dropped in January, the worst January drop we ever had in the stock market, the numbers were better in January than they were in February and March. And we rallied instead of going down. That's the beautiful thing. See, the Federal Reserve is like the firehouse. Companies don't have to care anymore. They don't care anymore. If people do good work, if they make good margins, they just don't have to care. Their stock keeps going up. That's how it is. They front load the stock market.
We front loaded at the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, they front loaded the Federal Reserve. That's what they do. And they just front loaded this 14% rally back up. After it dropped 14%, they front loaded the same way they did back in 2009. So why are you afraid? In the morning, I give you coffee talk. Then I give you an open classroom online. You can take as much of the classroom as little. It's archived. Then during the day, all day, we're giving you updates on the stocks. And then the stocks that we look at every day. Every day we take those same stocks and we present it to you and we show you why. We put it on a chart. Okay, here's why we're buying it. Here's why we're not buying it. Here's why we're going to sell it short. It's a wonderful thing. And the best thing for people who don't have any time at all, please join the gang and you'll start the Working Investor Program. Now, all my gang members, please don't call and say, can I join that? You're already part of it. The Working Investor Program. That's the S&P 500, the spiders. We put them in it's one basket of stocks. And not only can you buy them, but you can sell them short. There's hardly any fees at all. It's the fees to kill you. Fees to kill you. Now, I made a promise to Walter that I'd talk about, because he's very concerned about this. In October 2015, Congress passed H.R. 1314, known as the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015. It's going into effect on May 1st. Now, typical Wall Street, the gangsters get together and say, let's scare 22 million people. We'll make a whole bunch of money. We'll get them to sign up for a newsletter. And they'll be so scared they'll pay anything for a newsletter, especially the older folks, when you say the Social Security is going to make these massive changes and you may be left out, and you're instead of getting your $1,200 a month, will drop to $600. And newsletters all over were booming. Well, here you're going to get the information free. First, don't panic. In fact, the pending changes on May 1st are really relatively minor. They do not take away any existing benefit, okay, or alter the core Social Security benefits or the payment you're getting. So no one's going to change your payment. And there's nothing hidden, nothing radical, nothing hidden, and it's not going to threaten your financial security. On May 1st, Congress is banning some Social Security's biggest benefits. And here's what it is. The file and suspend strategy is going to be suspended. The file and suspend strategy, which allows couples to maximize their combined benefits by having one spouse file for Social Security upon reaching full retirement age, currently 66, then immediately suspending the benefits. This allows the other spouse to claim a spousal benefit while their deferred Social Security grew 8% per year until age 70. Will no longer work after May 1, 2016. Now, here's the other important one. Another change will eliminate what they call restricted applications, a mechanism that allows persons who are between full retirement age and age 70 to file an application to claim spousal benefits, but defer collecting their own benefits upon reaching 70. They change from receiving spousal benefits to receiving their own larger benefits. Those are the two biggest changes right there. So I would suggest you get a hold of who takes care of your taxes for you, your planner and whoever, and get the full story. But I researched it after Walter called me. I researched it, and that's what I've seen. Those are the two biggest changes. So don't worry about your check. If you get $1,200, it's going to get cut in half, or you get $3,000, it's going to get cut in half. It's not going to happen, okay? So please relax on that. And by the way, please get Walter's book. Walter's book. We're going to have a signing for Walter. It'll be in April. So you can come meet Walter. It's an award-winning book. And we just told you the recipient of the prestigious Axiom Business Book Award. That's the largest and most respected critical guidepost for business books today. Now, because of this award, Axiom, guess what? Now you know when buying Walter's Way, you're buying the best cutting-edge business book. And let me tell you, this book is a great book. I'm not just saying it. You know, I never do I come on here and try to sell books. This one you have to have. Please, check it out. Okay. And Social Security, by the way. You're not going to live on Social Security. You're not going to live on your 401k. It's not going to happen. Between the two of them, at best, they cover maybe half, a little more than half of what you were making while working. That's not going to work. So here's my suggestion. And don't believe these models they give you. They're all fake. And by the way, the fancy glossy brochure the planners and money managers give you about 401ks and so forth, you pay for those. Those are part of the 22 hidden fees. That's why a fee, think of this, a 1% fee, 28% of the money you put aside. If you have a $500,000 aside, 1%, 28% of that $500,000 goes. But nobody gets away with a 1% fee. The average is 2%. 2%. Can you imagine? Just a little less than, what's that, 50, 28 and 28, 56%. 56% of your money goes to these gangsters. 56. And some is 3% if they can nail you for 3%. And here's the funny thing, 85% of the people that they went out and interviewed and asked, do you know if you have to pay fees? 85% of fees. I didn't know I have to pay fees on 401ks. Look, the only fee you need to pay is $49.95 here at Phil's Gang. I'm reaching out. I want to help you. For those who are busy, please let me get you started with a working investor where you buy the S&P 500 called the Spiders. 500 basket of 500 terrific stocks. Get a nice little dividend, hardly any expense at all. And here's the beautiful thing. You're not alone. We bring you through this whole stock as it starts going up, or we turn around and we want to short it going back down. Then we can get you, we'll show you how to short it. We're with you every day. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. All day, you got questions. You can email my staff. Any question you have on your stock. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? It's a wonderful way to join the gang. It really is. And you've got to do something. Here's the other problem. These people who are running for president, they got to come in with stop with this stupid minimum wage hike. How about you want to increase jobs? Eliminate payroll taxes. Eliminate the payroll taxes. That's what you got to do. That's the hurts jobs so badly. 70.2% of Americans working make less than $30,000 a year after paying taxes. Can you imagine that? 70%. How are you going to put enough aside? And what you do put aside, who's managing for you? You think the person cares? You can do better just with the Spiders, the S&P 500. Join my gang. Just try it, for heaven's sakes. It's ridiculous. But if we eliminate payroll tax, that would increase jobs immediately. That's the quickest way to create more jobs. Next, we got to take the 3.6 trillion deficit and we got to plug that hole. How do we plug it? We got that deficit because of stock buybacks. If we stop the stock buybacks, we would not have the deficit. That means we could start creating hundreds of thousands of jobs, fixing our bridges, our roads, our airports, our railroads. Good jobs. Good jobs. Right now, what you need is Phil's Gang. Let me help you. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Call 877-600-GANG. Join now. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dreams.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande. Phil's